Hello and welcome to Homemaking with Joy. I'm Rachel and I'm very excited to start the 2026 Pantry Challenge series with a pantry tour. Pantry tours are fun for you and they're fun for me. I get to look back and see all of the hard work that I put into this year's pantry, and you get to see what I keep on hand. So the rundown of the video looks like this. First, I'm going to go through my canned pantry. Second, I'll go through my store-bought pantry. Third, I'll do my bulk dry goods. And four, I will go through the freezers. So as always, check the description for timestamps if you want to skip around to different sections of the video. In years past, I have pulled every unique product off of my shelf to show you, but it is actually very late at night when I'm filming this. I put my kids to bed and now I'm here working, and I'm actually very tired and want to go to sleep. So I will probably try not to chit chat too much, show you the highlights, the main things of what I have or what I'm proud of, and let's keep this moving. Okay? Okay. Also, I'm in a basement. I'm in a normal basement with weird lighting. So forgive the weird shadows and stuff, but this is real life and this is what my basement looks like. At least these walls aren't pink. These walls over here are. You'll see those later. Starting off strong with tomato products. Tomatoes are a big staple in my backyard garden because I know we go through a lot of tomato products through the year and it's easy to make in bulk. So I have lots of these jars of plain tomato sauce, and then I have some pizza sauce. I also have some marinara or prepared pasta sauce. It just depended on how much time I had when I was working with all of these tomatoes. We had a family medical emergency this summer, and so a lot of my canning stuff got shuffled around, and it was obviously a very low priority because of the family thing. So a lot of my tomatoes got turned into plain sauce, and so this winter or whenever I use it, I will add the onion and garlic and all the things to flavor it as I need it this winter. These are not homegrown potatoes. These are just from the store. If I keep them in the bag, they get moldy, so they sit on the shelves. Moving down a shelf, I have lots of beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, black beans. I like to can these in bulk. I buy them dry from Azure and can them myself because I can put a bunch in my pressure canner at once and have beans on hand. Next shelf down, home canned peaches. These are one of our favorites, and we do a lot of these. This started with my husband's family. He grew up eating peaches this way. He comes from a farming family, and so now we continue the tradition. We go to his grandma's farm and we can lots and lots of peaches every summer, and so we have this beautiful golden summer in a jar anytime we want to grab some. Back here we have some pie filling. This is cherry pie filling. Do you remember that grandma who lives on the farm? She grew these cherries on her cherry tree, processed them, and canned them into pie filling for us. So this is like so precious to us, and so this will make a great pie at some point. I also have apple pie filling. We also have an apple day with that same grandma and same family, and so we do applesauce, which you'll see in a bit, and pie filling. I like this for in pie filling, but also for apple crisp. I just dump a couple of these jars in an 8x8, add some crumb topping, and I'm good to go. So if I'm ever in a pinch for a dessert or something for an event, this is what I grab. Here's the applesauce. Lots and lots of applesauce. Again, that same grandma, she is just awesome. We do this at her house. Everyone hangs out in her big garage and works on apples together. Actually, this year we did it at our house, but usually we're at her house, and it's just a wonderful family memory, and I'm so glad I get to include my kids in it, and they get to see where their food comes from, how it gets processed, and the feeling of accomplishment of seeing all these jars is just, I have no words. I have lots of peach jelly this year. This is my first year canning peach jelly, but all those peaches that we processed, I kept the skins and cooked them until they made a peach juice and then turned that into jelly. So this is really good. We eat a lot of like eggs and toast in the morning, and so whether we have peach jelly or something else I'll show you, it's always good on our toast. Strawberry jam, the beloved strawberry jam. My one son could like spoon this out of the jar and eat it. But I grow strawberries in my backyard, but not enough to can. And so I buy bulk strawberries from Azure Standard, just the frozen kind. It's nice. They're like already cleaned and topped, so you pretty much just have to thaw them and turn them into jam, which is awesome, super easy, and a great shortcut if you'd like one. And we keep lots of strawberry jam on hand. Moving back the shelves a little bit, I showed you the peach jelly. I have strawberry jam back here. I also have some red raspberry jam. This is from a friend. She knows that raspberries are my favorite, and so she's very gracious and gives me a jar of this every year. I also have some cherry that was gifted to us from a family member. So it's fun to try new things from other family members who have access to different items, and it's always good. More peach jelly. Oh, back here a bit. Nope, that's more jam. Where is it? Oh, here it is. This is home canned ketchup. So this is from this year. I don't remember making this. I was probably very busy. Home canned ketchup. I tried to make a less sweet version than we get at the grocery store, but still also have it thick enough. So it turned out pretty well. It's not great for like dipping, but good on sandwiches or in recipes or whatever. Back here further. Yes, barbecue sauce. So this is still from last summer. Barbecue sauce, smoky barbecue sauce, something. I got the recipe from More Than Farmers on YouTube, so it's really good. Pickle relish. This is one of my absolute home canned staples, sweet pickle relish. It is so wonderful on sandwiches and really excellent in deviled eggs. I like to add a big scoop of this to the filling of my deviled eggs. Here we have pears. This is a family favorite of ours. My kids really like them, I really like them, and they are great for constipation issues. So if you have little ones who struggle with that, my kids will know if they're having a hard time. Mommy, can we have pears with supper tonight? I always say yes, and it always helps. So grab yourself some pears. Down to the bottom shelf we go. I have quite a bit of canned meat. So if you pressure can, canning meat is a great option to keep your things shelf stable and easily accessible. So this is chicken. Pressure canned meat is not pretty by any means, but it does taste good and it is safe. So this is pressure canned chicken. I think I got a couple value packs on sale, like the yellow sticker ones, and just canned it all up, so now it's really convenient. So chicken salad is super fast and easy with a can of this, some pickle relish, and some mayonnaise. My husband hunts, and so I have some venison canned here. This is probably my favorite way to do venison because the pressure canner just really makes it soft and tender. Otherwise, I struggle to cook it. That's a learning curve I need to work on, but I have some canned venison here. I also have some canned sausage. We were getting, I don't remember what we were getting. We were getting some meat in the freezer and there was not enough room. And so I was canning a bunch of meat to make space in the freezer. So I did some sausage, some ground beef that I added taco seasonings to, and some plain ground beef. Again, it doesn't look cute, but in a pinch, it really doesn't matter. It's super convenient to have it already cooked and on the shelf. The last thing I have on my bottom shelf is canned zucchini pineapple. So if you grow giant zucchinis like I happen to do in my backyard because they hide under the leaves and I don't see them, you can turn them into pineapples. I like pineapple on my pizza, but I'm the only one in the family who does, and so I will can some jars of fake pineapple to put on my pizza throughout the year or use for other recipes. Zucchini doesn't have a lot of taste, so if you can it with some pineapple juice and sugar and some other things, then it really does taste like pineapple. It's pretty cool. The top row of my shelves are just extra jars, and I have more boxes of extra jars stashed here and there. Note, if you are buying new canning jars, always save the box. It's super nice for organizing things on your shelves or the empty jars. To get a better idea of how many of these jars I have, here's a quick rundown of my shelves, so you can see the actual shelves and jars a little better. This is my store-bought pantry, things that I buy from the store but like to keep on hand for my family. So I won't go through every single item on this shelf because that would be tedious, but I will highlight the things that I think you will deem interesting or helpful. So starting on top of this freezer, I have lots of dry pasta. I know how to make pasta, but I don't always want to make pasta, so I have plenty of dry pasta on hand for that. I have some gluten-free flour here. I have a friend who's gluten-free and dairy-free, and I want to experiment with some baking for her, so I bought those before the pantry challenge so I can do that in January. Some other basic baking staples, basic baking staples. Baking powder, brown sugar, things like that. I have a lot of other bulk dry goods over there, but I'll get to that soon. some instant oatmeal for quick before church breakfast, tomato paste. I've heard of people canning their own tomato paste, but also heard it's kind of a nightmare. So I just buy it in these little glass jars from Azure and it works great. These giant things are grape juice. So we go through a lot of grape juice for two reasons. My kids like homemade jello, and so we like the grape flavor. So it's just grape juice and gelatin, which I have in here, right there, big 5-pound bag of it. I also like to use the grape juice for taking tinctures or medicine. The kids don't like the flavor of tinctures. I don't blame them. I don't like it either. And so I mask it with some grape juice, and that works great for our family. Back here we have some cereal, but it's not for eating with milk. This is what I use to make homemade granola bars. So I'd like to keep that on hand for snacks, especially going into a pantry challenge. Here I have a lot of condiments and things. So, or like this is cocoa powder that I use for making homemade hot cocoa and anything chocolate muffin thing. Mustard, salsa, Worcestershire sauce. I have canned pumpkin. My pumpkins did not grow this year, so I got some canned pumpkin to keep on the shelf. Olive oil, coconut aminos, ketchup, salad dressing, honey, peanut butter, molasses, chocolate syrup, maple syrup, broth. I do like to can my own broth, but I don't have any bones available at the moment to make and can it, so I bought some. I'm glad I live in a time where you can buy things at the store. I never want to get to the point where I think I'm too good to buy chicken broth from the store. It'll be okay. Is the homemade stuff better? Totally. Will this stuff work? Absolutely. It feeds my family, and I'm super grateful. Here we have some lemon juice for homemade lemonade. I want to highlight these. Chili sauce and grape jelly. Have you heard of the grape jelly meatballs? They are awesome and super convenient. This is one of my go-to easy button meals. If I need something fast and simple and I didn't prep ahead of time, this is what I have on hand. And everybody should have at least a couple of these meals in their back pocket in case they need them, especially those of us who like to cook from scratch. You need these because sometimes you don't always have time to make an elaborate meal. This is also something I like to make if someone else is watching the kids. So if my husband and I are leaving for a dinner date or something and we have family over, I will make the grape jelly meatballs, which is just frozen meatballs, chili sauce, and grape jelly into the Instant Pot for 6 minutes. And then I'll put rice in the rice cooker, and those can just stay warm, and whoever's watching the kids can serve them and eat whenever they are ready. I'll usually throw in like frozen broccoli then too. And it's a full meal. Do we usually eat these? No. Are there worse ingredients? Totally. It can also be allergen friendly if you buy the right frozen meatballs. So consider this an easy button meal in case you don't have one. Go buy yourself some. The last shelf on the bottom here has a couple more bulk items. I have some more gluten-free grains that I'm going to experiment with. They came from Azure. You can tell by this brown bag. I have more dry beans that I will can at some point. Honey that I try to keep in bulk. More beans. In the back I have our favorite electrolyte powder. So we like Relight from Redmond's. And I have some protein powder. We either use Just Ingredients or Prime Protein from Equip. So that's what I have on the bottom there, and that is my store-bought pantry. Sort of. Let me turn the camera around. There's a little more behind you. There are the pink walls we know and love. Normal basement here, folks. This is what it looks like. Anyway, olive oil. My favorite bread recipe uses olive oil, so I keep that on hand. Diced tomatoes. I don't like to can my own diced tomatoes. I think the texture gets funky, so I buy it from Azure. More tomato paste. Some corn chips. And granola bars that my husband likes to take to work. And last but not least, onions. My onions turned out terribly this year, so I buy them. Moving to the other end of the room, I have my bulk buckets. A couple buckets under that set of shelving. More brown bags from Azure, and then many food-grade buckets full of dry goods that I like to keep on hand. Instead of me moving every single bucket, I'm just going to flip the camera around and talk. Okay? Okay. Starting off under the shelves, I have wheat berries. This is hard red wheat, and there's one more back there that has hard red wheat berries. This is salt. We like Redmond's salt, and I buy it in bulk. And there is an empty bucket waiting to be filled, probably by one of these brown bags. This giant bag is sugar. This is quick oats, and these are hard white wheat berries. I just have not gotten around to putting them in buckets. Thankfully it's gone okay so far, but I really do need to get those transferred into their respective bucket. Looking through my tower of buckets, we have cane sugar, again, which is in this bag that needs to be refilled. And on the bottom, I have white rice. 25-pound bags fit in these buckets perfectly, so I just buy a 25-pound bag and I fill up my bucket. I like to have 2 on hand of everything, so I have a backup, but that's not always the case. This tower is all hard white wheat berries. That is what we use most often, and so I keep a lot of that on hand. Here we have some all-purpose flour, because I still use that. And on the bottom is rolled oats. So maybe that empty bucket needs to go for the quick oats, because I have one for rolled, but not for quick. Someday I'll have an oat flaker, but I don't yet. Here we have soft white wheat berries. These 2 are soft white. Oh no, actually all 3 are soft white wheat berries. I think that one's empty. Here we have brown rice, and then on the bottom we have a 25-pound bag of popcorn that fits in there. Great for snacking. A couple notes related to my bulk buckets. I think this is one of the easiest ways to start buying in bulk or having a pantry, because you use these staples for a lot of things. Whether it's a bucket full of beans or just all-purpose flour, if you don't grind your own wheat berries, you can have them on hand and you know that you're going to use them. And I didn't even pay for all of these buckets. A lot of these buckets, I went to the local bakery at my local grocery store and asked if they had any icing buckets they were done with. And oftentimes I'd walk away with 6 5-gallon buckets that are food grade safe, and they just have some icing in them that you have to clean out. But they're totally free to me, and they're happy to get rid of them because otherwise they go in the trash. So consider asking around about getting yourself some free buckets, and that'll really go a long way toward your food pantry storage. I also like the twist-on lids. This is not a twist-on lid. I'll find you a twist-on lid then. They work so much better than these snap-on lids. You do have to pay a couple bucks for those, but you can get them on Amazon, through Azure, even at Lowe's. So look around for those too if you're thinking about increasing your bulk pantry storage this way. Here's an example of one of the screw-on lids. I can't unscrew it one-handed because it's nice and tight, but that is air safe and so much easier to get open than those. I have busted so many fingernails on those. I really like these, so whenever I get a chance to buy more, this is definitely my preference. Finally, we are to the freezers. We have 3 big freezers. 1, 2, 3, this upright one. So I'm going to give you a basic rundown of what's in them because I honestly don't know what's in them. So one of my goals for this pantry challenge is to dig through them a bit and make sure I know what's in each one so nothing goes bad. But honestly, they are packed. Like, we are so blessed to have our freezers packed full of food that I literally can't even swim to the bottom. So let me show you quick. I will give you a basic, very basic rundown because that's all I can do. And hopefully you'll see more as the pantry challenge progresses. Chest freezer number 1. In this one, whoa, focus, buddy. In this one, I like to keep chicken and miscellaneous items. So let's see what's inside. Aha. We have butter. We have bananas that were going bad. In here, I like to keep block cheese in this little section right here. So all types of block cheese, and then I shred it myself or use it other ways. Frozen veggies. Last year, I felt like I didn't have enough variety in frozen veggies, so we have some of those here. All these yellow bags are Good Ranchers chicken. So that's how we like to get our chicken. It's a subscription. And so we have that. And then under there, I'm not really sure. No, I'm not even sure. I think I have some of our quarter cow in there somewhere. And I don't know if I buy hot dogs from the store or if I buy sausages or I like to look for the yellow sticker meat, I'll probably put it in here. But I don't know. There's freezer number 1. Freezer number 2. In this one, I like to keep pork. We got a whole hog in February, so this is mostly pork and other things. Let's find out. Whoops. Okay, so we have more frozen veggies. I have some taco casseroles that I prepped. What's under there? Oh, a whole chicken from my mother-in-law. Because again, remember that grandma? Yeah, she also raises chickens, so we get chicken from her. This is venison, a venison roast from what my husband got this winter. This is some bread. If I ever have extra bread around, I like to freeze it so I never run out. And then under there is sausage and pork chops and bacon and ribs and a whole bunch of other pork stuff. So we'll dig that out together this winter. And the upright freezer. Fun fact, we bought this upright freezer when we were doing corn last year because we literally had no space to put the frozen corn. Let's see what we have. Packed. What a blessing. This is a giant box of frozen strawberries that I got from Azure. It's like 30 pounds of strawberries or something. So we use it for smoothies and for that strawberry jam. These are little freezer cups that I came across. Not that one, this one. So I like to do pick your own supper cups. So anytime we have just a little bit of leftovers, I'll put it in one of these cups. And whenever I don't feel like cooking, everybody comes down here and gets to pick a random food that we had some leftovers. Here we have some more. And then everybody picks their dinner and I don't have to cook. Woohoo! More. They're excellent. So I have these taller sizes and I have the shorter sizes. I'll link them. They are excellent. It also worked out well because my father-in-law passed away this summer. And so I can share these cups with my mother-in-law or any other senior citizens and they have an easy meal ready to go for them. Down here, garden tomatoes. I have some frozen. Oh, I have some of those in the other freezer too. I forgot. But yeah, we have some tomatoes that I'll need to process at some point. This is ground venison from what my husband caught this year. Not caught, killed. Can I say that? Butchered? Ugh, that's worse. Anyway, more pork. This is ham. We have another deer steak here. Green beans. More pick your own supper cups. Back there, I think is like a pork shoulder or something that I got on sale once. In here we have some fish sticks. My kids really like those for a quick lunch, so we have those. These are the meatballs that are gluten and dairy free that I like to buy. Lots of frozen freezer corn, sweet corn from the summer. Down here in this drawer, oh, I have, it says pork sausage. This is actually venison. My brother-in-law ran out of venison bags when they were grinding it, so this is more venison down here. And what's that? I don't know. Some meat from the store. Again, we'll find out later. In the door, I also have some tallow that I rendered myself, and the white one is lard. So I use those for cooking as well. And that concludes my pantry tour. My kids like to call this the grocery store in the basement, and that just fills my heart. I didn't grow up with any of these skills. I didn't grow up canning or gardening or preserving or buying in bulk or anything like that. And so I'm really proud of what I've built here because I've learned it all myself with the help of lots of ladies online. It's one of the reasons that I like to do YouTube because I've learned so much from these wives and moms on here who have shared their skills, their old-fashioned lifestyles, and helped me learn these skills to take care of my family too. So if you're one of those people that didn't grow up doing this, never fear, you can learn, and hopefully my channel can be a little bit of inspiration for you too. The next couple of videos on my channel will be cooking with all of these things. For the month of January, I will not be doing any grocery shopping for the Pantry Challenge. I will be buying milk from our local farmer. We get a raw milk pickup once a week. And if I need some eggs, because eggs are a super important breakfast for us, I will get some. But so far our chickens are still laying, so I'm hoping they continue to do that. But otherwise, I won't be buying any groceries, and I will just be working with what we have in the basement. And I don't think that will be terribly difficult. I like to stock lots of food in our house, obviously. It's great for lots of reasons, for emergency purposes, for convenience purposes, and I'm just really grateful that the Lord has blessed us with all this food to give us good nourishment, to help my kids grow well, and that I can share some inspiration with you, hopefully, maybe. That's why you're here. If you've made it to the end of the video, then you probably have enjoyed it, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to watch this. If you're not already subscribed, please do so, because throughout January, I'll be cooking from this and showing you what I make. So, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next couple of videos. Bye!